Good morning, everyone. Good morning once again, students. So, till now, topic I think it is clear to you all. And now we'll start with the nutritional deficiency. One more nutritional deficiency disease is the rickets. So, today we are going to discuss, today we are going to learn about what is this deficiency disease. What is rickets? So children, actually, firstly, we'll just know we'll go through the nutritional deficiency. What is actually the nutritional deficiency means? Nutritional deficiency is the deficiency in which the nutrients will be deficient in our body. We'll have a deficiency of the nutrients if we do not take in the balanced diet daily, if we do not take in proper amount of vitamins, carbohydrates, nutrients, and minerals, whatever are necessary in our body. So if we do not take in the proper balanced diet, then we'll be deficient with these nutrients. And what will happen? What type of diseases we get due to the deficiency of these nutrients? So there are so many diseases which we have already discussed. And now we'll go through one more nutritional deficiency disease. That is rickets. Some disorders in human beings are caused due to lack of certain nutrients. Like for example, anemia. We have just gone through this. We have studied about this. Anemia, why anemia is, why we usually get anemia and what sort of people we see anemia. What are the symptoms? Can anyone just tell me? Keep your camera. With the deficiency of what we get anemia? Anemia is caused due to lack of, can raise your hands? Yes, Harsh. Yes, Srihit, I'll give you the chance.
Ma'am,
Yes,
lack of iron.
good. Lack of iron. Okay. Yes, Srihit,
Ma'am, lack of iron
good.
and also hemoglobin.
Lack of iron. Due to the lack of iron, we just get anemia. It is,
Ma'am, symptoms are lightheaded. If you feel lightheaded.
okay. And there are so many symptoms we'll discuss now. Just
Yes, ma'am.
1 minute. Okay. So anemia, we have seen one of the nutritional deficiency disease we already have discussed about anemia. So it is caused due to the lack of iron. Due to the deficiency of vitamin A, night blindness is also one of the deficiency. In some people, they have the night blindness. They cannot see properly in the night because of the deficiency of vitamin A. And goiter, have you heard about goiter? I'll show you the picture, children, so that it will be clear to you. Just wait for 1 second. I'll just show you the picture for 1 second. Yes. So you all can see here in this picture, these are, this is the disease which is caused due to the deficiency of iron. It is called as goiter. And it is usually that this disease, it is caused the glands, it is caused in the glands of the glands, usually they are present in the throat, so they swell because of deficiency of iodine. Just 1 second. Yes, children, so if you all can see the screen, so this is the deficiency of C. Due to the deficiency of vitamin C, the patients usually they suffer from scurvy. So the symptoms of scurvy are bleeding gums, bleeding of gums. So it is caused due to the deficiency of vitamin C or ascorbic acid. Yes, children. So Now you have seen what are the symptoms, what are the, how it looks like, what is the goiter. It is caused due to the deficiency of iodine. Have you seen the pictures? How the patient suffers when how it looks when the patient suffers from goiter. There will be swelling in the glands of throat. And here, children, if you see uh, rickets, what is rickets actually? Why it is caused? It is caused due to the deficiency of, yes, can anyone? Okay, due to the deficiency of vitamin D, due to the lack of vitamin D, calcium, and phosphorus. Usually, what happens in this is there will be a less development of bones and teeth in our body due to the deficiency of vitamin D. The essential amount of vitamin D is not supplied in our body for the development of bones and teeth. Vitamin D is necessary. It is the chief source. What is the chief source from where we can get the vitamin D, children? Yes, Hitansh?
Ma'am, milk, eggs and fish, ma'am.
From sunlight.
Yes, ma'am. Sunlight is the main source
Yes, sunlight is the main source.
of vitamin D.
Sunlight is the main source for vitamin D. It is essential for the development of bones and teeth in our body. So the chief source of vitamin D is sunlight. It is the only vitamin which is produced by our body. So exposure to sun in the early hours, in the morning hours, if you go out and just sit for a while or just take a walk outside, just go for a walk, then you can be exposed to sunlight. Then your body will receive vitamin D. Okay, it stimulates the synthesis of vitamin D in our body. Exposure to sun for a few minutes, if you just go in the sunlight in the early hours of the day, it increases the production of vitamin D. It stimulates the synthesis of vitamin D in our body. So, the deficiency of this vitamin D causes rickets in children. So, we'll see now. Rickets is also because it is essential for the development of bones and teeth, even. So, here the skeletal disorder also occurs due to the lack of vitamin D, calcium, and phosphate. So, we have to take a balanced diet in order to get all the nutrients in proper amount for our body, isn't it, children? If we lack the nutrients, then we'll get all these deficiency diseases. So now we'll see what is this rickets. People usually, if they suffer with rickets, they usually see the symptoms like their bones of leg bones are slightly curved, and they'll show stunted growth, and in severe cases, children, skeletal deformities will be there. Means proper skull will not be formed. I mean, like shape will not be perfect. The skeletal shape will not be perfect. Vitamin D helps our body to absorb calcium and phosphate from your intestines. The nutrients which you take, the food which you take, the certain nutrients are being absorbed by your intestines. So what does vitamin D do? It it helps our body to absorb calcium and phosphate from our intestines. So you can get this vitamin D from various sources of food products. like just Hitansh told, from milk, eggs, and fish. And even if you just go out, if you are exposed to sunlight, from there we can just our body will synthesize. Our body stimulates the synthesis of vitamin D by the exposure to sunlight. Vitamin D deficiency makes it difficult for our body to maintain sufficient levels of calcium and phosphate. What happens because of vitamin D deficiency, children? Our body cannot just maintain the levels of calcium and phosphate. When this occurs, our body produces hormones that cause calcium and phosphate to be released from your bones. Then your bones will become weak. Naturally, your bones will become weak. When your bones lack these minerals, then what happens? When your bones will become weak, what happens? You can't be able to walk properly. They'll become, they'll bend easily. They'll broke easily. They'll be broken easily, isn't it? Then the patient, then the children, in small children, usually when they lack this uh, vitamin D, the symptoms of rickets can be seen. I'll show you the picture of the patient who suffers from rickets. Just give me a second, children. I'll just share the slide with you. Are you able to see the screen? So here, if you can see the bones of the legs, so they are slightly curved, they are slightly bent, isn't it? So this is how the patient suffers when he's suffering from the disease called rickets. So the bones will be like this. Okay, children? So even the pigeon chest protruding out, the chest will be like pigeon chest. Their chest will be like a pigeon chest. If you can see this picture here, just one second. Yes, you can see this picture in your left side. How is the chest of this child? It is just like the ribs. The ribs are just like pigeon chest protruding out. So this is due to the deformity of, this is the child is suffering from rickets. These are the symptoms which we can see in the patient. So what happens actually is the bones will be weakened and they'll be soft. They become soft and brought on extreme calcium loss. There will be a lot of calcium loss and bones will also, in some cases, they will broke. They'll be broken. And now we'll see what is the prevention and cure for this. Exposure to sunlight in the morning hours. We can get proper amount of vitamin D is stimulated in our body. In order to get proper amount of vitamin D, what we have to do? Yes, can you tell me? Raise your hands. Keep your camera. I told you to keep your camera on. Yes, Rudranish.
Ma'am,
Yes.
what is the question, ma'am?
Yes, I asked you a question from, okay, I'll just ask you once again. So, what are the symptoms which are seen in the patient of rickets?
In rickets, ma'am,
Yes, in rickets.
uh,
Yes, Harsh.
lack of iodine,
How the bones will become? What are the symptoms of this disease? You can see in this picture how the bones are.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Harsh. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, Harsh.
Ma'am, your voice is tracking, ma'am. Hello,
Okay.
ma'am, your voice is tracking.
Okay. I think network issue is there. So my voice is stacking, but Rudranish can hear me properly. Yes, Rudranish. You can hear me? Okay, 1 second. I'll just mute them. Yes, Hanvita.
Ma'am,
What are
can
the
I answer?
symptoms? Yes.
Ma'am, we should.
No. What are the symptoms of the disease? Rickets. What are the symptoms of rickets? Yes, Hitansh.
Ma'am, deformation of bones.
Yes, deformation of bones takes place. And how the bones will become?
Ma'am, weakened and soft, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, Devishi.
Ma'am, bones will be very weak, ma'am, and their legs will be crossed, ma'am.
Okay, bones will become weak and their legs will become curved.
Curved,
Their bones will become curved.
curved.
And how the chest will appear?
It means it will appear, means
Yes,
skin
Hitansh.
will not be more, ma'am.
Ma'am, like a pigeon's chest, ma'am.
Okay, it will appear like a pigeon chest. Okay, protruding out. And how will be the skull? Yes, Hanvita.
Ma'am, the skull will be very lightweight and it will be very big, ma'am.
It will be in odd shape. Skull will be in odd shape. Okay. And hip bones will be deformed. Odd shape of skull. Poor growth in child. Pigeon chest protruding out. Hip bones deformed. Wide wrists and ankles. Bow legs. Legs will be bowed. Okay, children. So these are the symptoms which are seen in rickets patient. Okay. And why this disease is caused with the deficiency of which vitamin rickets is caused? With the deficiency of which vitamin? Yes, with the deficiency of vitamin. Which vitamin?
Ma'am, D
Wait,
vitamin.
1 second. Bhuvan, just tell me, with the deficiency of which vitamin we get rickets? Usually the patient suffers from rickets. Yes, you can unmute yourself. You can unmute yourself. Good. Vitamin D. Okay. So what is the prevention and cure for this? What is
Ma'am,
prevention?
we should expose to light. Ma'am, we should
Yes.
expose to light at morning 8 to 10, ma'am. And we should eat foods which have more vitamin D,
Like, for example,
milk, milk, fish, or egg.
okay. Yes, Rudranish. Yes, you can unmute yourself, Rudranish. Yes.
What I have to tell, ma'am?
What food we have to take in order to prevent rickets? What type of food
Milk,
we have to take?
milk, egg.
Yes. Okay. And
Mm,
okay. I'll just give the chance to Devishi. Yes, Devishi raised the hand. Yes, Devishi, tell. Give me the answer.
Ma'am?
Yes. What food we
Ma'am, your
have?
voice is stucking, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, anyone? Yes, Harsh. What is the prevention and cure for this disease?
Ma'am, take more sunlight.
Yes. Harsh, I can't hear you properly.
Hello, ma'am. Can you
Yes,
hear now?
yes. Now I can hear. Yes.
Ma'am, be more in sunlight, ma'am.
Okay. And what type of food we have to include in our diet? Avoid rickets,
Which is rich in vitamin D, ma'am, like milk, etc., ma'am.
milk, and
Egg, etc.
okay, good. Yes. Nivedita. Nivedita, you can unmute yourself.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, in this phone charging is not there, ma'am. Can you join me in another phone?
No, Ma, you can just talk. I have unmuted you. You can unmute yourself and just tell me the answer.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, in this phone no charging is there, ma'am. Can you connect me in the
So
another phone?
you can just raise your hand if you have any doubt so that I can unmute you.
Ma'am,
Because now time is finished, I can't do that. There's only a little bit of time left.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, Ashwin, where is your camera? Many of you didn't switch on the camera.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Hello,
Yes,
ma'am.
Trishika, tell me what type of food we have to include in our diet in order to prevent rickets.
ma'am, we have to include in our diet milk
And
and mainly sunlight, ma'am. Mainly vitamin D.
okay, just speak loudly. We can't hear you.
Ma'am, we have to include in our diet milk, mainly sunlight, ma'am, for vitamin D.
We have to be in sunlight. We have to expose ourselves in the sunlight in order to get proper amount of vitamin D. Okay.
That too morning 8 o'clock only.
Okay, good. Yes, Rakhi Charan, can you tell me a few symptoms of this disease? What happens in the patient who is suffering from rickets?
Ma'am,
Yes, Rakhi Charan, are you able to hear me? Can you hear me?
Ma'am,
Yes. Can you tell me a few symptoms of the this disease, rickets?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me. Okay, it's better you keep the headphone so that you can hear me properly. Then how you're able to understand the topic then if you can't hear me properly? Just check your connection. Yes, Diksha, understood the topic? Diksha, unmute yourself. I think the option is not there for her. Okay, yes, Devishi?
Ma'am,
Yes. Tell me a few symptoms of the patient who's suffering from this disease, rickets. What happens
ma'am,
in the patient?
with vitamin D, if they don't have vitamin D, they can get, ma'am.
What happens in the patient? What symptoms they show?
Ma'am, the legs will go cross, ma'am, and this chest will be like a penguin
Pigeon,
chest.
pigeon chest, protruding out. The bones will be protruding out.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, Rudranish.
Ma'am, the bones will be weak and soft, ma'am. And the head will be big, ma'am.
Okay, the head will
Big
be
and
odd shape.
weight will be
Yes.
less in odd shape. And the legs will be in board shape, ma'am.
Okay. And the bones will be very fragile, and there is a chance of breaking of bones.
Bones.
And
Yes,
even
ma'am.
there'll be a few dental problems also because there is a deficiency of calcium and phosphorus.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, can I tell the preventions of that, ma'am?
Yes, tell me.
Ma'am, does vitamin D include poultry, ma'am?
Sorry.
Fish. Ma'am, does vitamin D include poultry? Fish, egg, meat,
Yes. Fish, egg, meat, milk also. You can
mushrooms. Mushrooms also, no, ma'am?
mushrooms also, but you have to just take in. You have to be careful while taking in the mushrooms also because in that there'll be harmful and useful mushrooms also. Some may have resistibility after eating them, and some may not.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, Trishika, can you just tell me
Yes, ma'am.
what type of food we have to include in the diet in order to prevent this disease?
So, ma'am, like
Yes, Trishika, can't hear
milk.
you.
Hello, ma'am. Now can you hear me?
Your voice
Hello,
is
ma'am.
very
Am
low.
I audible to you?
Yes, yes. Yes, Trishika. What type of food
Hello,
we
ma'am.
have to, what type of food, what type of diet we have to include in order to prevent this disease?
Ma'am, like poultry, milk, meat,
We have to take in food which is rich in vitamin D, milk, meat,
vitamin D,
fish, eggs,
milk,
orange
and
juice,
proteins also. Yes,
soya,
ma'am. Juices.
and cheese. Okay, I'll just, um, we'll just have a quick look about this topic once again so that you can be able to understand it properly. So here, this is a nutritional deficiency disease. Rickets is a nutritional deficiency disease. Due to the deficiency of vitamin D, this disease is caused not in all, in a few children who are who lack the vitamin D, the proper nutrition, who lack the proper nutrition. So usually vitamin D is essential for the development of bones and teeth in our body. So the chief source of vitamin D is sunlight. It is the only vitamin which is produced by our body. The sunlight, what it does is, if we just expose ourselves to the sunlight in the morning hours, what our body do? Our body, it stimulates the synthesis of vitamin D. It helps in the synthesis of vitamin D in our body. The sunlight, who will help in the synthesis of vitamin D? The sunlight will help in the synthesis of vitamin D in our body. If the patients lack, yes, yes, Abhivir, you have any doubt? Abhivir, you have raised the hand. Unnecessarily, please don't raise your hands, children. If you have any doubts, then only you have to raise the hands. Yes, you can keep your camera so that I can see you. Yes, Harsh.
Ma'am, is medicine available for this disease, ma'am?
Yes, medicines are available for this disease, but uh, proper cure, the completely the person cannot be cured, because once the it is better, prevention is better than cure. We have to first we have to prevent the disease. We have to take in proper diet in order to not getting this disease. Because if the bones are already they are curved, then we cannot make them straight. If once we get this disease, we cannot make it in the proper way again, isn't it? There is no cure for this disease. So in the for example, for polio children, if once the polio is patient is a child gets the polio, then he cannot be cured. In the same way, this also, once the bones are just curved, if they have any deformity in the bone, it cannot be cured. It cannot be done in a proper way. Again, the bones cannot be straightened. Okay. So in for polio also, children, in when you are small, you'll be vaccinated in order to you may not get this disease in future. You'll be giving the vaccines for the harmful diseases. So for these type of diseases, children, these are caused due to the deficiency of vitamins. So to avoid these diseases, we have to take in the balanced diet. Okay. Yes, any doubts, children? If you have any doubts, just raise your hands. Yes, Rudranish?
Ma'am,
Yes.
if their bones are like curved, they still have the bones, no ma'am. They can do surgery and let that be straight, no ma'am.
Yes, they have to keep a rod. They'll keep a rod and then they'll, but if they are curved, completely curved like this, they can't do anything. They have to do a
Why,
surgery.
ma'am?
They have to keep a rod.
Okay, ma'am.
Bones cannot bear because they are very brittle in nature. They are very fragile. They'll be broken easily because in rickets, the patient's bones are have they become very soft. They'll be broken
Oh,
easily. So in that case,
yes, ma'am.
the doctors also can't do anything. Okay.
How
Again,
much time? How much time it takes, ma'am?
for what, ma?
How how much time